Warning, this video contains descriptions of historical crimes that some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. The shadowed underbelly of Victorian London, where gas lamps flickered like dying stars against the fog-choked streets of Whitechapel, a monster emerged from the abyss in the autumn of 1888. His name? Jack the Ripper. A phantom killer whose blade carved not just flesh, but an internal scar into the soul of a city. Picture it, a labyrinth of squalid alleys teeming with the desperate, the forgotten prostitutes scraping by in the East End's poverty-stricken slums. It was here, amid the stench of horse manure and unwashed humanity, that the Ripper began his reign of terror, transforming ordinary nights into symphonies of screams and silence. Our story starts on August 31st, 1888, with Mary Ann Nichols, a 43-year-old mother of 5, reduced to selling her body for a few pennies, found sprawled in Buck's Row, her throat slashed twice with surgical precision, her abdomen ripped open in jagged wounds exposing her intestines. No witnesses, no cries heard, just the Ripper's calling card, mutilation beyond mere murder, as if he delighted in dissecting his prey like a mad anatomist. The police dismissed it at first as another drunken brawl gone wrong, but oh, how wrong they were. Barely a week later, on September 8th, Annie Chapman met her grisly end in the backyard of 29 Hanbury Street. At 45, she was frail from illness, her body a vessel of hardship. The Ripper struck at dawn, severing her throat so deeply her head nearly detached, then methodically opening her abdomen. He removed her uterus, part of her bladder, and sections of her intestines, arranging them grotesquely around her corpse like a macabre, still life. Secrets whispered in the autopsy. The killer had anatomical knowledge, perhaps a butcher, a doctor, or something darker. The press exploded, dubbing it the Whitechapel murders, and fear began to coil through the fog. But the Ripper was just warming up. On September 30th, the infamous double event unfolded. First, Elizabeth Stride, a 44-year-old Swedish immigrant known as Long Liz, found in Dutfield's yard with a single throat cut. No mutilations. Was he interrupted by a passing cart? Mere minutes later, less than a mile away, Catherine Eddowes, 46 and destitute, suffered a fate far worse in Mitre Square. Her throat slashed, face mutilated with cuts to her eyelids and nose, abdomen torn open, intestines draped over her shoulder, uterus and left kidney excised with chilling expertise. A piece of her apron, bloodied, was left at Goulston Street with graffiti scrawled above. The Jews are the men that will not be blamed for nothing. A cryptic clue or red herring? The city reeled, vigilantes patrolled, women barricaded doors, and the police, led by Inspector Frederick Aberline, chased shadows. The crescendo came on November 9th with Mary Jane Kelly, the youngest, at 25, a fiery Irish beauty living in Miller's Court. Unlike the others, killed indoors, her body was a canvas of horror. Face hacked beyond recognition, breast severed, organs piled on the bedside table, heart missing entirely. The Ripper had hours undisturbed, eviscerating her in a frenzy that suggested personal rage or ritual. These canonical 5 victims shared traits: prostitutes, alcoholics, slain on weekends or month ends, but why them? Theories abound: a vendetta against women, a cover for royal scandals, or a deranged quest for forbidden knowledge. Amid the bloodshed, the Ripper taunted the world with letters. Hundreds poured in, but 3 stand as infamous secrets. The Dear Boss letter, postmarked September 27, 1888, promised more work and signed Jack the Ripper. For the first time, clipping a woman's ear as proof, though unfulfilled. Then the Saucy Jacky postcard on October 1st, gloating over the double murders with details only the killer could know. Most chilling, the From Hell letter to George Lusk of the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee, accompanied by half a human kidney preserved in wine, claiming he'd fried and eaten the other half from Eddowes. Hoaxes? Many think so, perhaps penned by journalists to sell papers, but the kidney matched the victim's age and disease. These missives fueled the legend, turning a killer into a spectral celebrity. Why is Jack the Ripper legendary? In an era of newfound literacy and penny dreadfuls, the murders ignited a media storm unseen before. Newspapers like the Star sensationalized every detail, birthing Ripper mania. Over 300 suspects investigated, yet he vanished like mist, evading Scotland Yard's best despite fingerprints' absence and primitive forensics. The East End's poverty highlighted Victorian hypocrisy. The rich ignored the slums until blood flowed. His legacy? Endless books, films like From Hell tours drawing thousands, and Ripperology, the obsessive study of his enigma. He's inspired Sherlock Holmes' tales, influenced modern serial killers, and symbolizes the ultimate unsolved puzzle. Now the suspects, a rogues gallery of the damned. Montuku John Druitt, a barrister and teacher with surgical interests, drowned himself shortly after the murders. Police memos fingered him as insane. Aaron Kosminski, a 23-year-old Polish-Jewish barber in Whitechapel, institutionalized for schizophrenia. DNA on a shawl from Eddowes scene allegedly matched his descendants in 2014, but critics slammed it as contaminated mitochondrial evidence that only excludes, not confirms. Recent 2025 genetic claims by researcher Russell Edwards boast a 100% match. Yet, a 2024 journal retraction cast doubt, calling it pseudoscience. Then Karl Feigenbaum, a German sailor executed in 1896 for similar murders in New York. His lawyer claimed he confessed to Ripper killings, citing port logs, placing him in London. Francis Tumblety, an American quack doctor and misogynist, arrested in Whitechapel, fled to the U.S. Letters suggest police eyed him. Even wilder theories. Prince Albert Victor, grandson of Queen Victoria, in a royal conspiracy to hide syphilis scandals, or Jill the Ripper, a midwife like Mary Piercy, who could move unseen with bloody clothes. Walter Sickert, the painter accused via hidden messages in his art, though debunked. Or was it Lewis Carroll, the Alice in Wonderland author, embedding clues in anagrams? Over 100 named, from butchers to Freemasons, each with tantalizing threads but no smoking gun. Did the Ripper stop because he died, was jailed for other crimes, or immigrated? Graffiti erased by police fearing anti-Semitic riots, hints at cover-ups. Autopsies revealed he was likely left-handed, 5'7" tall, and struck from behind. Modern profiling paints him as a local, 25 to 35, organized yet escalating in brutality, a sexual sadist thriving on power. In 2025, AI reconstructions and Netflix specials revive the hunt, with DNA retests on the shawl and letters yielding controversial matches, but experts warn of contamination from 136 years of handling. Yet as the fog rolls eternal over the river, Jack the Ripper remains a ghost in the machine of history, untouched, unknowable. His crimes expose the dark heart of empire. His escape mocks justice. Was he a demon, a doctor, or just a man lost to madness? The legend endures because in every shadow we see his knife glint, whispering, "Who am I?" And in the silence, the answer echoes, forever unsolved.